So today what we're going to be talking about is the process of color energy and the color energy concept, as well as we're going to be talking about our color energy products. We're also going to be talking about what color intelligence is and the effects of color on our body, energy centers, and endocrine glands. And I'm going to start by going through the Color Energy 101. So I'm going to be switching my screen here so you guys can see my overhead. And so this is the way I always teach about color energy. Our main energy source is the sun. And via the sun's rays, we have all these different frequencies, from radio waves to microwaves to infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, and cosmic rays. But you'll notice right in the middle here is the visible light spectrum. And here we put all this emphasis on all these other different vibrations, all these different aspects of our electromagnetic our electromagnetic spectrum, but we put little emphasis on the colors of the rainbow, which we can actually see. And it was in 1666, Sir Isaac Newton held a prism to the sun and discovered that the white light, or the sun's rays, refracted into the different colors of the rainbow, and thus the rainbow concept or color energy concept was developed. Inger Ness, who's the founder of Color Energy, wanted to teach people about not only do we reap the benefit of colors from the sun, but every color via our endocrine system stimulates our physicality on some level, which affects our emotions, our attitudes, our mental facilities, our beliefs. And we have to look at it in this perspective, that when light comes down to us, and I'm just going to flip here to the next page, when light reaches our body, this is what I'm referring to, where we've got the sunlight, and then through a prism, which basically is our pituitary gland in our brain. Our pituitary gland is like a prism. It takes the signals of light in through our eyes and skin, and it redistributes the colors to the different areas of the body. So for example, the red light stimulates our adrenal glands and what we refer to as our red intelligence or our root chakra. The orange, our sacral center, which is also our governed by our gonads. The yellow energy goes to our pancreas, the green to our thymus, the blue to our thyroid, the indigo to our pituitary gland, and the violet energy hits our pineal gland. Now, the pituitary and the pineal gland are two glands that are situated in our brain, and they're very, very small, and they're right beside each other. So you may read in some books that some people say the pituitary gland is governed by the indigo, and some will say the pituitary gland is governed by the violet energy in the crown chakra. To me, whether we're talking about indigo or violet, we're actually only talking about a small percentage difference in the blue-red color combination. So whether it's violet or indigo, again, it's the two glands that are in our brain that are right beside each other. So our whole endocrine system is stimulated by light, which in essence is the 7 different colors of the rainbow. And so therefore, when it comes to color healing, we need to understand that via sunlight, which is our main source of energy, we reap the benefit of color power. Now, sunlight is our main energy. We're supposed to be in the sunlight 2 to 4 hours a day. However, that's not the reality for most people. We tend to work during our sunlight hours, and so therefore we're not getting as much sunlight as we can. And this is why sometimes our color distribution becomes off, because if we're eating too much of one color, or not getting the benefit of sunlight, or not doing things that are bringing up a color vibration within us, then we can understand how our energy centers become imbalanced, because again, we're using our energy for different reasons. And now by using that color frequency in abundance, we can become depleted. And what happens is our energy centers get out of order. But if one is too high and one is too low, then we have to create that stronger balance between those energy centers. Now, some people call them chakras. Medical doctors or professionals often will refer to them as neural energy network centers or plexuses. Of course, in more esoteric terms, we call them chakras. Inger Ness calls them color intelligence centers because each color is intelligent in its own right. We know that color has a profound effect on us mentally, emotionally, spiritually, as well as physically. And this is why when we look at this picture that's on the screen, the red energy stimulates our adrenal glands, which creates the energy for our capabilities for fighting, our capabilities of moving forward. It's our motivating and driving force. So that red energy, when our adrenals are strong, we can fight. But if our adrenals are weak, then on the opposite end, we have fright or flight. And so therefore, we can understand that when we are imbalanced in a color, then other energies might become more excited, more in the hyperactive area, and therefore we end up creating an energy imbalance. And something I always mention in many of my classes is that we are 100% whole the way we are. Now, what that means is nobody can take our energy away, nobody can steal our energy. We're 100% whole. However, the way we distribute our energy is based on our needs as well as what we don't know. Because often what we know is only what we've been taught or what we've been educated on. But if it's something that was never passed on to us because maybe our forefathers or foremothers, and people in our life didn't have that understanding, then we became weak in that area. So if we were never taught to fight for something that we want, but rather we were taught to, be compassionate and giving and loving, then our root chakra may become deficient because we've never been taught how to bring up our red energy to fight for the things that we want in life. And there's no right or wrong when it comes to color therapy. We just have to understand what color can do for us. And once we know what color can do for us, then we can understand, more or less then how we can empower ourselves. Because if one energy center is weak, then by rights, we want to raise that vibration so we don't get into circumstances that are created because of that energy weakness. And, I'll give some examples as we're talking, so this way you can get a greater understanding of why color power is so important. But what's also very important is understanding the concept behind it, because if you don't understand the concept, then you don't know how to fix the problem. And this is one of the situations that comes up in our everyday life. We have different fights to fight. Not all of them are related to red. However, red is really good for that driving force or that motivation. It's the I can do energy. But if you're doing accounting or book work, then you need to work on your blue energy, because blue is associated with math and, math and finances on that level. Or for example, when I'm teaching, yellow is a very important color for me, because yellow is the best color for teaching. And in fact, many years ago, we actually tested a bunch of teachers. One of my biopulsar owners also worked with our color personality test profile system, and he went into the school system, and the majority of teachers were either yellow blue in nature or blue yellow in nature, meaning yellow and blue were top in their color intelligence, because that was pertaining to who they are. And who we are, the colors and the order and the sequence or the power that we use them defines our personality. So if I'm what we call a yellow person, then of course I'm curious by nature. I love to learn as well as I love to teach others. Yellow is the color of optimism and joy, and so therefore I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person, but I need to understand that there's all these characteristics of my yellow, and some of them could be abuses, because I know, for example, when I'm on the negative side of my yellow, I might be more critical, and that critical side of myself could be either self-directed or it could be directed at others. I'm a perfectionist, so if I don't do things according to my level of perfection, I get very frustrated. Or if people don't do things according to my level of perfection, then I get frustrated with them. So we can understand that every attribute of color has a negative and a positive. And one of the booklets that really can teach you a lot about color energy is our Color Energy Introductory Booklet, written by Inger Ness. And this is a booklet I've personally read myself at least 100 times. Every time I read it, there's always something that I perceive in a different way, or something I relearn that reminds me, about the importance of certain attributes of maybe that color that I'm reading on. But this is a booklet that is definitely something you also want to sell to your clients, because rather than you trying to explain to them what color means and what color can do, sell them a booklet, let them read it on their own, because sometimes, especially when it comes to our clients, they want everything instantaneous and they want everything for free, but that doesn't mean they're going to absorb what it is that you're telling them, because they haven't put a price on it when they get it for free. When it's free information, it's already been proven that sometimes there's not as much importance put on it. So that being said, to me, this is a very incredible booklet to ensure that all your clients have one. So this way they can read it over and over again and get self-educated on this topic. And it carries a lot of information in there that is helpful, from, oils that you can use, affirmations, and of course the physicality and the mentality of the color, and the positive and negative sides, which is also very good to learn, because if you understand you're a very passionate person, but on the negative side, you may come across as very direct, forthright, and even a little angry to some people, but that's what passion is. It's a very persuasive energy. So the more you understand about the positive side of a color, then you can also understand some of its imbalances, whether it's an excess or a deficiency. So this is a really great booklet for your own self-learning, as well as to educate people on to learn more about the color language themselves. I want to empower people, but I want them to have an interest in it, because one of the things I've also learned is when I'm passionate, my passion exudes, and other people can pick up on my passion, but that's not their own natural passion. I want people to have their own natural passion, and the only way they can do that is by raising their red vibration, so they have a natural appreciation for their own passions, not just what I'm passionate about, but whatever they're passionate about. So learning some of the fundamental aspects of color is really powerful for self-healing. So what I'll do is take a few minutes now to just take you through the rainbow, so you can understand a little bit about the connection of the color physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So when we look at the root chakra, you'll see here on the picture that the root chakra is in the groin area. It's in the groin area, but it literally is from the hips down. So your hips, your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, your feet, but as well it governs our body's blood and our bone structure. So often if our atlas is off or our blood is weak, those are two main factors that then extend into a root chakra or red color energy deficiency. Because if you're strong in your red, then you're going to have a natural appreciation of the red, and you're going to take care of your physical body. But right now in our current society, they're saying 60% of people are becoming type 2 diabetics. Well, I wonder why. We don't have that connection to red anymore. We don't live off the land. We don't take as much pride in the work that we do that we once did. And so therefore there's, a multitude of reasons why our root chakra becomes weaker. But the bottom line is, if your root chakra is weak, you tend not to take care of your physicality as strongly as if your root chakra is strong. Because if your root chakra is strong, you're going, okay, I need that vitality. I need to have good food. I need to exercise my body. But when we have another energy center that's stronger, like myself, for example, yellow is my strength. So I like to feed my body energy that feeds my brain. So I'm always looking at the foods that are connected to brain power, which are a lot of yellow foods. So therefore, again, sometimes we're attracted to certain things, whether it's conscious or unconscious, because of our own energy needs. But because I understand that red connection, there's a lot of things I do on that red level to make sure that my body is healthy and strong. several years ago, I went through a situation in my own life, and it was when I was going through menopause. All of a sudden, my root chakra took a major dip down. And because I work with the biopulsar diagnostic device, it was easy for me to see that my root chakra was normally strong and healthy. And all of a sudden, I started going through menopause, and my root chakra just took a huge dip, half of what it used to be. And I could feel it on a vitality level. I was struggling a little bit. However, because I saw my root chakra weak, I was constantly working with red tools. I was using my red essence every day, and, you know, applying my red oils and doing all my red tools. And finally, I had some body aches, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Well, you're anemic." And that was really interesting because there was a lot of signs that indicated that I had anemia. But because I was inundating myself with so much red, I was wearing red underwear, doing my red oils and essences and red light therapy, and, you know, wearing red clothing. I was doing all this red. I wasn't so tired. Now, of course, I could say to myself, you know, that my root chakra being deficient, of course, I might have had some tiredness, but I didn't have the shortness of breath. I was still working a lot. I was still exercising. I was doing all these things, and I didn't have the typical signs of anemia because I kept boosting up my red energy with all these red tools. But physically, it was catching up to me. And this is why, you know, sometimes we have to look at the 4 quadrants: the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. Are we feeding all these dynamics that make up our totality, our completeness? Are we feeding ourselves on all levels? So the red isn't just about our physical body, it's also about our passions, our driving force. It's our connection to our existence, because on a spiritual level, red is as equally important as violet. And, you know, again, because I've been teaching for, you know, over 26 years now, I've had people going, "Oh, Susanne, I want to be more spiritual, or I want to be more psychic, I want to be more intuitive." And I go, "Great, work on your root chakra, work on your red energy." And they'll go, "No, no, no, I need more violet, I need more indigo." And I'm there, "Well, what makes you think by having more indigo or violet, that's going to make you more spiritual?" Red's just as spiritual as those other colors, but red spirituality is a little bit different. It's feeding your physical body so your soul and your spirit can live on this planet Earth. Without our physical connection, we wouldn't be a spirit or a soul having a physical experience. So we need to attach to our red energy on a spiritual level just as much as we need to attach to our red energy on a mental, emotional, or physical level. So the more you understand about the different aspects of the 4 quadrants, then the more you can understand, oh, today I'm tired, I need red energy. Oh, I'm doing some bookkeeping, I need some blue energy. Oh, you know what, I'm going to be working with some, you know, I need to put on my inventing hat. I need to think outside the box for this project. I need my indigo. The more you understand what color is going to support you, then the more you can identify how to bring in that color. And part of what we're going to be talking about is how to bring in the different color energies. But first, I'll go back to finish talking about each energy center. So we know red governs our physical intelligence, our drives, our motivating force, and it's our existence of our soul on this planet. The orange energy is our sacral center, and it's just below the navel, and it governs all our lower digestive organs, the descending colon, and it's also connected to our different waterwork organs, so our urethra, our ureter. I may have said that incorrectly, but your water organs, basically. And it's connected to our happiness and our joy. It's our emotional connection on this physical plane. The yellow energy is our mind power. It is our intellect, and it's our book studies. It's what we've learned here through already what's happened in the past, the knowledge base that we bring up to this day. And on a physical level, it's connected to our upper digestive system of our pancreas, our liver. So everything to do with the upper digestive system. Okay. And also, again, talking about the spiritual level, the yellow energy is about the ego, because a lot of times we think ego is a negative, only if it's on the negative side, because then we're selfish, versus when we're balanced in our ego, then our ego is selfish. We're willing to give to others without any thought of return, and it's likewise with the ego that, we could be egoless versus have a big ego and think that we're always right. Well, ego is important to have. I wouldn't be a good teacher if I wasn't connected to my ego and believing in the fact that I had knowledge to share. And of course, yellow has a lot to do with self-confidence. So if I didn't have that self-confidence, again, I wouldn't be here teaching today. Now, the green center governs our heart, and it has everything to do with our relationships. So it's heartfelt relationships of family and friends, and even, coworkers and other people in our life. And as a healer, green is really important because it gives us compassion, and it helps us, on that human level to connect with others, because we all have the capabilities of feeling other people's pains and sorrow. So that green energy is the energy of compassion, which helps in the healing business. Now, the blue energy is our throat chakra. It's everything to do in this area with our voice box. Oh, by the way, the green is everything to do with the respiratory system. So the blue has everything to do with our voice box. It's the connection from the top of the shoulders to the bottom of the tongue. That's the area of the blue energy. And it's our communication ability. It's also connected to holistic thought. It's not just the yellow of what we learn from books, but on a holistic level, more universal. And then we come to the indigo center, which is our psychic center. It is our intuition. It's our empathy energy on a very deep level. It's also an outside of the box thinker. A lot of reformists and a lot of inventors tap into that indigo potential. And then, of course, we have the violet at the top of the chakra, or the chakra system right on the top of our head. And the crown has everything to do with the top portion of the head. And the indigo and the indigo and the violet work a lot with our brain capabilities. And the crown is our connection to spirit. It's our direct link to the universe. So it's a great energy for channeling new information, new ideas. So, and it's a very inspirational energy. So in a nutshell, I just went through the chakras very quickly, or the color intelligence very quickly, to give you a quick synopsis of each one physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Again, when you invest in some of our teaching tools, like our color chart, we really break it down into different categories to give you a lot of insight into what the colors mean. We also have a lovely little pocket card that also breaks down the colors and teaches you a lot of the basics of color. And as I mentioned, we have our introductory booklet that goes into a lot of information. All these sources give you just simple words to start memorizing, so you build up your color repertoire. It is actually stated to learn a language, you have to memorize 500 words. So if we take the fact 500 words divided by 7 colors, if you memorize, approximately 70 words of every color, then you are learning the color language. You're well on the way of speaking it. And this is what I'm good at. Probably with every color intelligence, I know 1,000 of the words associated with each color. To me, everything in the world, everything in the universe is color connected. So there's a lot of words that connect with every color. And that means on an astrological level, on a plant level, on a food level, a dietary level, on an exercise level. There's all these ways that we can absorb color energy to enhance our own energy flow. And that's what we're going to go through quickly here. And I'm using our color energy training manual as a bit of a guide for you. And in here, I'll just quickly show you that it teaches you about our main energy source, which is the sun. And then we go on to, if we don't have natural sun, then of course, bringing it in by natural light bulbs is another way that we can bring in light energy. So in our office, we have a lot of natural lighting, and you can always tell if the lighting is natural because it will give off a bit of a blue haze rather than looking like a yellow. And yellow can be quite piercing and more hurtful to the eyes and the body. And if you're lucky, you know, hopefully you have some natural windows that you sit by during the day that at least you're getting that light energy in. And then of course, trying to get out there and being in the natural sunlight, especially when the weather is beautiful. I know when it rains or it's snowing, it's a bit more harder to get out. But when it's a beautiful sunny day, try to go for, you know, 3 to 4 walks, you know, for 15, 20 minutes each. So at least that way you're getting a 1 hour supply of natural light from the sun. And if you're at least sitting by a window, you can bring in the light energy that way. So food is our second main source of energy. So we can see here, you know, we have, in this case, we can see an orange. And orange is orange because it has refracted all the vibrations, and the color that remains is the color energy that is the energy that that food gives us. So oranges give us that orange vitality. And again, because of the fact of, you know, being a teacher, whenever I'm reading a newspaper or reading articles, I actually cut out things and I put them in my portfolio of color, because years ago, there was a whole article on people who have asthma and allergies can be healed by eating all these different foods. And when I looked at all the foods, they were all orange. So I thought that was really interesting, because orange also creates more oxygen in your blood. So therefore, you know, eating the orange vibration is going to promote orange energy in your blood. But there's a lot of healing factors behind our food. And again, when you take our basic color energy course, you learn a lot about the different colors of food. Now, I'm also a huge advocate in wordplay, because every word literally is connected to color. So for me, when you have knowledge of what words are connected to what color, then it gives you a lot of ammunition to understand how other people are speaking, or even how you speak. So I try to use more of a color vocabulary. So this way I'm attracting people who are green or indigo or orange, rather than yellow, blue, or red, because yellow, blue, or red are your left brain energies, which are, of course, you know, more to do with your ability to process and deduct, where your right brain energies, it's more about feelings. So when you hear people say, I feel this, then they're talking through one of their more emotional energies, versus when people say, I think, or I know, then they're talking through one of their more left brain energies. So even the way we communicate is based on our main colors. So on this page, we can see knowledge, positive thoughts, prayer, affirmations, visualization, meditation, and breathing are all different ways that we can bring in color power. But to me, knowledge is so important, because when you have knowledge, then, thank you, when you have knowledge, that knowledge extends into so much more, because when you have knowledge, then your belief system, your realization of something will go that much higher. And we have to understand that if we don't believe something, that thought alone could be counterproductive. It could literally just throw away anything that we've learned on that level, because we don't believe it. And I remember I did some research at an event, and I had people coming to my booth because of the biopulsar, and they wanted to see the before and after of using this tool. However, I can share with you the people who when they came back said that they felt that there was a shift in their energy. Absolutely, I saw that shift. But the people who went, nothing happened, right away I could see the shift wasn't there, because the attitude didn't follow. So words, phrases, pictures that you produce in your mind are absolutely colorized, and you know, are tainted by, you know, our understanding of things. So knowledge is very, very powerful. So we want to have these positive thoughts. We want to be educated in what we're doing. And with prayer, it's reciting things that you want to attract to you. Similarly with affirmations. So for example, if you're lacking red, and you can see my red affirmation right here, I exist and I have the confidence to manifest all of my dreams into reality. I am safe and secure in who I am and the relationship I have to my body. If you look at these words, I exist, that's a red phrase. I have is a red phrase. Confidence is a red word. Manifest is a red word. create my or manifest my dreams into reality would be a statement that belongs to the red. Reality is red. I am safe is red. Security is red. I am who I am is red. Relationship I have to my body is a red statement, and body being a red word. So you can see that there's a lot of power in this affirmation. So this is, part of when you invest in our different, educational sources, you get more educated to understand that color language. As well as, visualizing what you want. If you think of a certain circumstance, again, it will be attached to a color. When you meditate, and again, depending on your method of meditation, you're enhancing that color. And breath work is also a form of color healing. And again, in the course, you get all these different, oops, I think I've gone backwards. You get all these different suggestions of what you can do. Now, another one of my favorites is aromatherapy, because essential oils are the essence of a flower or a herb that is then pulled from that flower or herb, and it's literally the liquid essence. Now, color energy, we have all our oils that are color coded. So you can see here lavender oil, or pardon me, lavender oil is violet in nature. So we've made the label violet. So it's very easy when you're doing any kind of energy work to pull the products off the shelf as to what would help the client, or that you might be implementing in a session. But I'm going too fast here. But with color energy, we've also created chakra blends. And chakra blends are 2 to 3 oils of the same color frequency. And this is really important, that when you're using different blends and mixtures of aromatherapy, that you're using what I call is in the same color frequency. Because if you're using a red energy blend and it's cross-contaminated with oils that are not red in nature, well, you're making something that then becomes diluted. And it's kind of like if you mix orange paint with indigo paint, what are you going to get? It's going to be murkiness. It's not going to be a vibrant hue, where if you're mixing red paint and you're only using red dyes to make that red pigment, then obviously it's going to be very vibrant and bright. So with all our different products that are mixes or blends, we put the power of one color exclusively in it. So this way you're ensuring the effect, because you will see on the market that there's a lot of cross-contamination. For example, I often see an orange oil in a violet or indigo blend, meaning they're throwing in the orange vibration for somebody who may want to use a brow chakra blend to enhance their psychic abilities. Well, orange oil is about living in the present moment, and it is the farthest energy you want to be using to enhance your psychic abilities. However, a lot of people work intuitively. So imagine if I'm inventing these blends and I'm very intuitive and I go, oh, I need orange in there because orange helps with my intuition, probably because there's, the person's intuition is so strong, they need an element of grounding so their intuition is clearer. So, people use different vibrations and things which are less conducive to the whole. And this is one of the things that we do here at Color Energy. We ensure the authenticity of the product. And of course, we're using therapeutic grade. We're buying directly from the countries of origin. So this way, they're not, man created in areas that it's not as conducive. And I'm a big advocate of trying to do as much in regards to the country of origin. So for example, when it comes to food, of course, I want to eat as much food that is grown in my own backyard, because that's going to be better for my energy based on the climate and other factors. And similarly with, working with my chakra system, I want to make sure that I'm working with the purity of products. So this way I'm not working on the wrong energy, but rather the right energy. And a lot of our tools, we give you information handouts. So, you can learn more about our product and also give away to clients. So this way the clients can learn more and more. Okay, so aromatherapy, I just love essential oils. What a wonderful way to start your day, by smelling something that just brings joy to your, to your disposition. So often I will start with a red, orange, or yellow oil because those are the ones that are really powerful for first thing in the morning, because some frequencies are better to use during the day than others. Like, I wouldn't be using too much indigo during my day because indigo actually stimulates your sleep. So it's connected to the production of melatonin. So if you're trying to sleep, that's a good energy to surround yourself with. And likewise with the oils and essences, it's a good energy to work with. However, most people, they need to wake up in the day, especially if you're coming out of your sleeping energy, which are more of the indigos and the violets, and you need to get grounded first thing in the day. You need to have that red energy. And when I first got involved with color energy, it was so cute because my family bought me red slippers, a red house coat, red pajamas, all these different red tools. So first thing in the morning, I could awaken myself, by putting on my red house coat and red slippers. So we need to do these things. I wear a lot of red underwear. Most of you who know me know I'm an advocate of wearing the color as much as possible. And when you wear red underwear, for example, it's right at your root chakra. So right there, you're stimulating yourself during the day. However, at the end of the day, when I go home, I'm working with the more calming colors because obviously I don't want to be overstimulated. Rather, I want to start relaxing. I want to start calming myself down. And those are the blues, the indigos, and the violet hues. So, obviously we want to work with the power of color during our day, what's going to be best. And so I have a bit of a philosophy: use as much anywhere from red to green as possible during your day. But as soon as it starts going more into the evening or later on in the afternoon, you can start switching to the turquoises, the blues, the purples, etc. Now, pink you can use pretty well any time of the day, but not too much in excess at night, because pink has a subtlety of red in it. So you don't want to energize yourself too much, but it is a naturally calming energy. Now, another thing that we work a lot with is alchemy. Alchemy is sort of like homeopathics in a way, where homeopathics are energetically charged with different herbs and essences. So what happens is it raises the vibration because there's more than one herb in there. However, alchemy essences are going to a higher level in regards to the frequency. So alchemy essences also include herbs, essential oils, but it's super empowered by cosmic and earth frequencies. So for example, on the earth, we're charging it additionally with sound therapy, gemstone therapy, obviously color. And on a planetary cosmic level, we charge alchemy essences with planetary alignment and other, things like sacred geometry that are of a higher vibration. Also, I like to educate people. There's different types of tools. Anything that has an expiry date, and a lot of essential oils have an expiry date. Now, of course, you could prolong the expiry date by putting your oils in areas where there's no sunlight or little light, I should say, as well as in cooler areas. Because if you keep oils in a bathroom and you're taking hot showers, then the heat from the shower can actually alter the aromatherapy. I do keep my oils in there. However, I'm using essential oils every day, and I only keep certain ones in the bathroom that I'm using first thing in the morning. So for one of them, actually a couple of them that I have in the bathroom are the Chi Energy, and I have the Get Up and Go. Both of those are really great to kickstart your day. And what I do is I roll the red essence up my spine from the base chakra to the back of my neck. So I'm pulling up the red energy up my spine to really start my day with a lot of power. I also put this on my root chakra area as well as the bottom of my feet. I like to ground myself first thing in the morning because I'm a huge dreamer. And so therefore I want to ground myself as fast as possible. So for anybody who does astral flying, this is a really good tip for you. And then energy tools have no expiry date because they've been harnessed with so much vibrational frequency. They work from the auric level to the physical body, where physical tools, as soon as you apply this on your body, the essential oils are absorbed into your bloodstream and they work on that physical level, which in turn can then expand into your energetic bodies. But anything that has an expiry date, like food, is a better example to tell you, because as soon as you pluck a food off of its vine or tree or plant source, then basically what happens is that food starts to degrade. It starts to lose energy because now you've taken it from that living environment, and it can't survive without water in the soil, the micronutrients in the soil, et cetera, et cetera. So I tell everyone, ideally what you want to do is you want to work with both energy tools and physical tools. So this way you're working from the inside out and the outside in. But essence have been supercharged, and we do have different essences, and these essences were developed for different reasons. So they're additionally programmed with words and other things that help create that stronger energy flow to what the product does. So we have our spiritual sprays, which are for our energy system, but we also have aura cleanser, which is just to dispel any lower frequencies from your energy field. This is my favorite product. I love everything we do, obviously. I'm immersed in it and I use everything every day, but aura cleanser is one of my favorite, and I have a bottle here. I just have to reach over and grab it. But aura cleanser is one of my favorite products because it will get rid of anything from your energy field that's of a lower frequency. Now, what is a lower frequency, you ask me? Okay, cell phones, radio waves, frequencies from your computers. There's all this electromagnetic smog that is from, wireless, everything. And most of it is unseen, so we don't realize how much it's affecting us. And it will also cleanse other people's negativity. I've heard so many wonderful stories where people were sharing with me, they took it to the office and started using it in the office, and the person who was the grumpiest, started to become more social and kinder, and just wonderful stories like that I've heard. We also call it a ghost buster. And I bring that up because there are entities on multiple levels that can be hindering us in different ways. So this is created to let go of anything in your energy field that is not conducive to your energy, whatever your beliefs are, because obviously negativity from other people and from other dimensions could possibly be around, and we want to make sure that our energy field is clean and clear of anything. And especially as a healer, one of the things that I find invaluable is if you spray your own aura, and all you do is spray it above your head, a couple squirts, spray your own aura and spray the client beforehand before you do energy work, because then you're house cleaning your aura, you're house cleaning their aura. Imagine how much easier the energy flow will be when there's nothing hindering, because if you're doing energy work and there's all this invisible clutter that you're not seeing, then the client may not be getting the full potential of the work because there's all these things that are congesting the energy fields. So I work a lot with the aura cleanser, and it's great for cleansing jewelry. So if you're wearing crystals, just give it a squirt. If you use gemstones in your treatment, spray your tools with aura cleanser. It's just a phenomenal product. But we have a whole range of alchemy products that are very healing. Now, other ways that we can, and I'm just going to scroll by there. Oh, gemstones. Gemstones are very powerful. We sell tumble gemstones, and we sell also beautifully cut gemstones that we import from Brazil, and we teach you about how to use these different gemstones, so that way you're empowered. Music and dance. We have our CD. This is the CD that I recommend, because it also has a meditation on there, which is very powerful, because when you're doing a meditation, the meditation is taking you through each chakra. And I actually wrote the meditations with someone else. And because of the fact that I know so much about color, I literally take you through each chakra and I talk about the color aspect physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So you're doing a lot of house cleaning and you're affirming what you want from each color. So very, very powerful meditations. And at the same time, it's almost like, you know, you're listening to over 1 hour of color information so you can learn more about the color language. It's a great CD. And of course, sound therapy. You know, a lot of times it's so cute. I get people that say to me, "Oh, Susanne, you know, I'm into sound healing, and you know that sound is color." And I go, "Yeah, sound is color." Because everything, as I mentioned, in the universe is color, but a lot of people don't realize that there are several octaves to the C note. In a way, this is what we're talking about when we talk about color. There's so many octaves of a color that, you know, there's 40 octaves, from what I understand, there's 40 octaves of notes. So if you have 40 octaves of red, and beyond that and under that are different dimensions of color. But of course, with sound healing, we have the 40 octaves that we hear, but of course, the color range goes up until white light. So that's kind of cool. Now, talking about light, we also have a pen light, and on Thursday, I'm giving a class on how to use the Chromalive system. So if anybody's interested, let me know and I'll get you logged on to that class. That class is just geared towards, it's a Thursday class, and that's for my biopulsar people. So if anybody's interested who's joined us here today into learning more about light therapy, let me know and I'll give you the password to get into that class, because it is a class by invite only. But I teach about what Chromalive light therapy is and how you can use light therapy for healing, because when we see something red, then we can use the blue light therapy and blue tools for healing. And just so you guys know, on the weekend, I got a little bit of extra sun, so you might see my face is a little red. Well, of course, what do? I start using the blue energy to calm down that redness. And, you know, it's just very cooling, because often when you get a little bit of sunburn, the skin is hot to the touch. So you want to cool it down, and blue is naturally cooling. And when you purchase the Chromalive pen light, it comes with a booklet and some charts so you can get more familiar with how to do light therapy as a treatment protocol. And there's some other things that I talk about in here. For example, solarizing water, as well as, and I'm just going to turn that off, as well as wearing color therapy glasses. So there's a few other, you know, suggestions that we give you when you take the training course. The training course is all inclusive. It teaches you the basics of the color language, and then you have to do assignments on a weekly basis, one color at a time, so you can explore each color. But of course, that's the whole manual is privy to the students, and so I can't show you any more than I did right there. But nonetheless, I wanted to share with you all the different ways that we absorb energy. Now, another consideration I want you to take into play here is the fact that every day our energy is moving. We have different biorhythms, and these different biorhythms they change daily, is I guess what I'm trying to say. But you may have noticed some days your sense of smell is so acute, and other days it's like you have no sense of smell. Some days you can see everything that's going on around you, and other days it's like you're walking with blinders. Some days you're so sensitive to touch, and other days you're oblivious. Every day, because our biorhythms are changing, so is our sensory experiences. And this is why I also tell everyone, as many senses as you can explore at one time when you're wanting to work with color energy, the better it is. Because again, if you're, you know, one of your senses is a little bit dull that day, you want to ensure that you're, you know, doing as much of color power to get in on all levels. So cosmic tool, physical tools as well as the sensory journey. So by wearing color therapy eyewear, by using, you know, the corresponding essential oil blender mix, wearing the colored clothing, eating the colored foods, using the light therapy, all the different ways that we can absorb energy, then you're gearing yourself up for success, because often we do things half-assedly because our red is just too weak and we'll go, oh yeah, I can do that. No, but I'm a little tired. Oh, I'll just, you know, throw on some oil or essence. And we won't get to where we want to go because we haven't applied ourselves enough to do it. And in some of my other videos, you may have seen me talk about the fact that, um, oh, sorry, lost the thought there for a second. I was already thinking about something else. Sorry about that. But basically, we want to have that sensory journey so we set ourselves up for success. Oh, I know what I was going to say about law of amplification. The more things we do simultaneously, the more power there is in that. If we use one tool, it's the power of one. When we use two tools, it's the power of three. The more tools we use, we increase the energy dynamics, so it's going to hit us harder and faster, which is what we want. Because I was going to tell you also that most people don't hold a thought longer than 3 seconds. And even as I'm talking, I'm sure your mind has wandered into different things going, oh, I know somebody who does that, or, oh, I have that product. And, you know, you have all these different thoughts and ideas. And so your mind is constantly moving, the vibrations in your mind are moving. And sometimes you can have so many different color vibrations in your mind, it really is difficult to have that focus. So if you can't hold a thought longer than 3 seconds, then the manifestation is minimal. They say to begin the manifestation process, it takes 68 seconds. So that means for 68 seconds, you should be focusing on, you know, doing something body, mind, and spirit for that long. This is another reason why I love color bath, because color bath, when you're lying in a pool of color, and you're taking a half-hour color bath, that's 1,800 seconds. You're programming yourself with one vibration. Now imagine adding oils to that, or holding a gemstone, or, you know, doing an affirmation, listening to this wonderful CD where it's taking you through the colors, or just focusing on that one color. Imagine the power that on a multi-dimensional level of how much success you'll have versus just throwing on something with no consciousness. And to me, I believe consciousness is so powerful, because in order to start creating the change, you know, you need to really bring it into fruition. And you can only do that if you study it and, you know, really just understand why it is you're doing what you're doing, and how you can accomplish that. I think of it as sort of like when we were back in grade school. If you wanted to be good in math, you had to study how to get to the, you know, end result of the problem. Similarly, you know, if you were studying English, you had to learn the sentence structure. If you don't have these tools in your toolkit, then you're not going to get to where you want to go as quickly. You can certainly, you know, pass with a C grade, but I don't know about you guys, I want to pass with A++. You know, I want to make sure everything that I'm doing is getting to where I want it to go. And you know, for many of you who know me, I'm a manifester. And in fact, in the office, they call me scurry, because as fast as you give me something, I'm starting to create it. Because I believe that if one person has thought something, I'm sure many other people have thought that. So I'm always in that phase of creating, but I'm very good at manifesting. And if your root chakra, your red energy is weak, then your percentage of manifestation is already at a lesser level. And so you may only manifest 3 of your 100 ideas. I don't know about you, but I'd rather manifest dozens and dozens of my ideas. So as long as I stay connected to, you know, my red, then I know I can manifest. But that goes for everything. So when I do writing, I focus on my blue energy, because I know that's the best color for me to encourage writing. If I want deeper meditations, I know that the indigo ultimately will take me on that deep meditation. Oh, and if you've never tried an indigo color bath, oh my God, that is so cool. But anyways, very powerful for that. So whatever it is that you're doing, you want to bring in the vibration to get to where you want to go. And of course, color energy has all these wonderful tools that were created by Inger Ness, as well as you know, our staff here at Color Energy. We have 3 in-house aromatherapists, so we're always making sure that the, you know, the formulas are perfect. We have the biopulsar to test our products on, so we know that, you know, our products are of that high vibration. So in a nutshell, that is today's seminar. It's amazing how fast an hour goes by. But right now, what I'd like to do is open it up. So if anybody has a question, please unmute yourself and just start asking.
Hi, Susanne. This is Bhushan. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful. I met you earlier today. Thank you for joining us.
Well, it's been wonderful and very enlightening. I've learned a lot, but I have too much to digest, which I'm sure. You mentioned about the 20-page brochure. Is it available on the web, or can I download it and read it?
Oh, the booklet. That's a tool that we sell.
Okay.
But I will be sending you guys some handouts so you can learn more about what we talked about today.
So I'm sorry, with the one that Bhushan was mentioning, is that the book that you were referencing from today with the pages on the screen?
Yes, I'm just, where did I stick it? I stuck it on the desk here. So this Color Energy booklet, we sell it wholesale too.
Okay.
Because we're going to be putting this video live, I'll send you guys the price lists, and so you can, you know, check out the prices of these different things. As Biopulsar owners, we also have, and I shouldn't say just as Biopulsar owners, but we do sell a lot of our products in bulk. So you can actually purchase 50 or 100 at a time, or even case lots of 250. This to me is one of our most valuable booklets of education that's affordable for people. And you can build it into your Biopulsar consult, or any kind of energy consult that you're doing for that matter, because like I said, I believe education is key. And also I read statistically, you have to read something at least 12 times before you absorb the material. So that being said, you know, if the investment is $5.99 on a retail level, that's a very affordable assessment, because, or a very affordable price, because if you were to teach this material that's in this booklet, you would be charging a lot more for this. And Deborah held up our Color Energy book. We're out of stock on that right now. We're looking at creating it as an ebook. So bear with us as we try to figure that out. We're working on a few projects, but that is one, and that's Inger Ness on the backside. So that is Inger, the founder of Color Energy. And she lives in Norway. She's still actively involved with Color Energy, and she's creating a whole color university. So I'll let you guys know more about that once that's available, but very exciting, very exciting.
And
now, are
Susanne,
these videos going to be recorded too? Sorry, I'm sorry, Dean.
All my videos are being recorded. Some of them will be available on the Biopulsar Academy or through other venues, but right now, because of what's going on, we just want to get the education out there. So right now all the videos are free. So, and watch them more than once, because as you guys know, lots of information in them. And I did have somebody asking me about the correspondence course. So our Color Energy Basic Correspondence course is $299, and it includes an e-manual, or you can also purchase a hard copy at a small fee. But that course is available for anybody who wants to learn more about the color language. And you saw that I showed you some excerpts from it, but it's one of our funnest courses, because you're literally working one color at a time, and there is a series of assignments that you have to do to really understand the power of color. And I always challenge people to, you know, do it to the degree that they really feel that power of color. And that's what I did when I first got involved with color therapy.
would the buyers or the owners of Biopulsar get a copy of that, or they need to buy it separately?
The Biopulsar program that comes with the Biopulsar, it's training that's based on that, and you get a whole chapter on, you know, the attributes of color, and there's a whole chapter on the chakras, a whole chapter on interpreting the aura. There's a whole chapter on body language. So that is geared towards the Biopulsar. The Color Energy one is a separate course.
Okay.
Okay. Similarly, we also have a course for the Chromalive, because The Chromalive, you know, that's a standalone tool that anybody can purchase and use for themselves or use in their own practice. And a lot of people who are new to color and light therapy, that's a course that's geared just towards operating the Chromalive pen light. So our different courses are based on different fields of study.
Susanne, when does that course start? Not the Chromalive.
Julia, hello.
Hey,
I'm sorry, your question. I was just excited to see you, so welcome.
thank you. When does that course start? The color one that's like weekly?
So you can start it at any time. It's a 8-week program, and what's mandatory is that you have to work one color per week. However, we do understand that sometimes life gets in the way. I know you have kids, right? So sometimes kids get in the way, and so the whole point is you do one color undisturbed. So if you have to stop doing a color in the middle of a week, you got to go right back to day one and do 7 colors consecutive. And there is no time limit. So if you have to stop for a week because you're going out of town or whatever, then the main thing is that you're doing one color a week at a time. And also because when you're doing color therapy on yourself and all of a sudden you're having epiphanies and breakthroughs, I don't want you to go on to the next color. I want you to work through it. I want you to really understand the color. Had I not worked on my blue throat chakra for several months, I would have never understood my blue intelligence. Had I not worked on my yellow for months, I would have never understand my main energy. We really have to go with what works for us. So even though it's an 8-week program, I don't want people to rush through it. It's all about you experiencing the colors and really learning the maximum about it.
And we don't need to have any of like the tools or the essential oils or anything. It's just learning the information.
Well, we do send you a little toolkit. It's a small toolkit, and we always encourage you to buy more if you want to really, you know, because we provide you with one color bath. We can't give you all of them because otherwise the course would cost several $100s. And a lot of people have our tools at home anyways, or they've purchased tools over the course of years. And so, you know, they have several of our products. So we only include a small package of goodies, which you also get the booklet and the charts, a couple of our charts. But we give you the whole list of how to do this. And so when you're working on your red week, your focus is to eat all the red foods possible that you can. You know, dress in red as much as you can. Use the oils that are red, and you'll have the list of all the red oils, so you'll know which ones you may or may not have. Plus, like I said, you'll get a vial of one. So you will be playing with all your different senses. That's the whole point. And, you know, because there's, you know, free music, or you might have CDs or whatever, you know, you can find your own music. We try to make it so everybody can afford to take the course without having a lot of additional expenses. But again, you know, just bringing in that color whatever way you can. And if you want to buy more products to help you with the journey, that's okay by us. So last week I did do a similar class called Color Energy Healing 101. This one's a little different. I don't like to do the same thing twice. So it is, I think, posted now online. I think Raouf put it online today. So it is available online. So if you want to watch the same concept, but a little bit different, please do so. On our YouTube channel, there is, and you have to go to Color Energy Biopulsar for the latest versions that go more into the chakras, the aura, and the Biopulsar, where Color Energy's main site is more shorter videos that aren't as intensive, although Raouf did tell me he was going to start posting some on both that were sort of under both categories. But we have 2 YouTube channels. So Color Energy with the U, so COLOUR Energy, and then Biopulsar will be our second one. It'll say Color Energy Biopulsar. So those are our 2 YouTube channels. So combined, there's probably about 50 videos now available for free that you can watch. And we're going to continue to make more. I was told that next week I had to do 10. So, but they're mini ones, they're shorter ones. This one's a lot longer. So, and I just talk, and I figure they can cut out anything that sounds goofy. Okay, any other questions?
Then one, the discounts and the free shipping, it only applies to North America, no? Yes.
Right. So I'll find out what they're doing in Europe. If I forget to send you an email, Diego.
They don't do a lot in Europe.
Yeah.
In Norway, they don't have the products. They have only small parts. Because, you know, to me, the problem is when we import things from Portugal, you have here an entity, a public entity, that if it's related with things to touch on the skin, you need a special approval from the government here in Portugal. So it's very difficult. That's, to me, it will be easier to import them directly from Europe.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I will try to do a buying in your site directly to Canada, and we will see how the customs here behave.
Yeah.
Maybe they are better now.
Yeah, I'll find out. I have to remember to find out from Nikolai what they're doing in Europe. We're going through a restructuring phase because Europe works separately from North America, and now we're merging everything together.
And
so there is a
I think
restructuring phase.
Portugal is the worst. Portugal is the worst country in Europe to buy something, because they told me here it's better if you can buy it from another European country. It's easier to get in almost of the European countries, and in Portugal it's very difficult because they complicate it a lot.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And because we're rebuilding our websites, the main thing was that we got up and running with our foundation. And then, of course, on the wholesale level, it's different than the retail level. So there's a few components that we're working on. But thank you for bringing it to my attention again. And like I said, I'll have to inquire more about that.
Yeah, because if you have, I think Germany, it's easy. You have a lot of countries in Europe that you can, I don't know, but a distribution center or something to all Europe. Because you have some countries in Europe, like Portugal, that they difficult a lot the coming in of the things to the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know our European office is apprised of more of that. That's sort of not my field, but I'll see if I can get more information for you there, Diego. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
So
because I didn't quit. It's 14 years now, trying and trying.
I know. And we've gone through some learning too. So we understand what you're up against. And so we're getting to the point.
Because, you know, the last time it was because of the Dead Sea salts. They made me swear that I won't sell them in order to get all the order out of the customs.
Yeah.
I had to make a swearment, a written swearment, that I wouldn't sell in order to get all the things out of the customs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It's
no problem.
Yeah, I know when we import here, because we import the salts from other countries. So yeah, I know that there's all these regulations, but it's not my job. So I can't answer everything for you, but I'll see what I can find out.
Okay. Thank you.
So I just launched a poll. So this way, it just helps me keep on track with what you guys would like to learn. And like I said, I'm committed to continuing doing classes. So I'm going to see what my schedule is going to be like for the next few weeks, because I hadn't planned anything yet. But based on this week, what's going on, I'm going to continue. And I've got the okay from my boss that I can keep doing this. So all's good. He's the one that pays me, so I have to make sure he approves everything, right?
Then I got the YouTube channels, but what was the second one?
Sorry? Oh, the two channels. Both are under Color Energy, but one has Color Energy plus the word Biopulsar, which we're focusing more on putting Biopulsar stuff on there, where the Color Energy one will just be only Color Energy.
Because I'm trying to find Color Energy, I can't find it for some reason, but okay, I'll keep looking. Is
Yeah.
it LOUR or COLOR?
OU.
Yeah.
OU.
Okay.
And-
OU. I
And
see.
then, just so you know too, I'm pretty good at, in my emails of always sending out all the information as well. So I'll have that in an email to support, but I know we'll be talking again very soon here. So I can make sure that I give it to you when I get off the, I was gonna say when I get off the phone, when I get off the video. Okay, if there's no more questions, then I'm just going to wind it up for now, just with my, my colorful saying of be colorful and bright and shine your light. So ciao for now, guys, and I'll keep you posted as to what's coming up.
Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome. Have a blessed evening, everyone.